In the context of the first election we've had in a while, the first election since September 11th, with not having an incumbent president, with election and people and parties and individual groups in this country very polarized and opinionated about not only what's happening here in our country, but what's happening around the world and the best way to approach those things. This election is extremely crucial year. There are issues of policy, and there are issues that should transcend policy. And so as a young person, I know that regardless of which one of the two candidates, the two major party candidates in this election gets elected, that we're going to end up with a better environmental policy, a more proactive environmental policy. There are differences, substantial ones between the candidates, but each one is an improvement. And as a young person, global warming and taking aggressive steps to stay that off is one of the primary things of importance to me. So I feel good knowing that we're going to be moving in the right direction with each one of our candidate choices. Other than that, there are some major issues on the table. And if you look at the differences between Barack Obama and John McCain and their vice presidential nominees too, there are striking differences between the way that each one of them intends to approach social problems and international problems, and the methods that they're going to use to get there. So to the average American, a lot of the details of these things aren't something that's on your mind every day. You're not thinking about, well, what's really going to be the best policy to encourage more green technologies? What's really going to be the best approach to encourage states to do more in the fight against terrorism? What's the best way to stimulate the economy? These details often are best left to the experts who study this and who have expertise in these areas. But you, as a voter, have the power to make a choice. And that choice is an extremely serious responsibility. And so the question is, how do you, as an individual, inform yourself properly so that you can make an informed choice about these issues? And so the way that I approach choosing representatives in our electoral system is I make a list in my mind about the things that are important to me, the things that have to do with international policy and the approaches to that, the things that are important to me in my life, in my personal life, and in my communal life, not just for me as an individual, but what I think it would be good for society at large. And I break them down, and I see which candidate's approach lines up best with the things that I'm interested in. And there are things that follow my points of view that are they don't line up perfectly with the current parties. They don't line up perfectly with the candidates. And so because of that, it's an exploration of character and an exploration of where are these people coming from, what are they really going to do, why are they there, and what does this mean practically in the world today? What is this going to mean in terms of the way schools are run, and who's going to be the most pragmatic? Because what we're really talking about with government, from my opinion, is who's going to get something done. We all know about the problems that exist today, and we all know there's disagreements about what's the best way to do this or that. But if you can take yourself as a leader, and we hope that we have this in our leaders, divorce yourself from your policy ideals and analyze the problems based on the problems themselves and what solutions work, that's the way that I want to see government run, and that's how I'm going to make a decision about this election. I would encourage everyone else, young people who maybe are unsure or aren't involved with the details, look for that in your leaders. Look for pragmatism over ideology.